Well, today's project is changing the air filter on our bus. It's a 2014 Tiffin Allegro bus with a 450 horsepower Cummins engine, and we're going to change the air filter today. We'll post for you the part number. It's a Tiffen part number that I gave to an RV supply house, and they were able to cross-reference it. So I will put that on the top of this video. This will show you the numbers that were on it when I picked it up, and you can even see where I got it from. Right here, it's kind of upside down, but there's where I got the parts from. So now we'll take it out of the box, and there is the information on the side of the air cleaner. Part number, filter model, all of the information necessary. Has a little notice on here that says insert bleeder valve in filter prior to installation, which is inside, and it looks like this. It actually looks like, if you guys are boaters and girls, this looks like a duck valve, and it goes in the bottom right there, right in the center in the bottom. This goes from the inside going out. I'm not going to put it in there yet in case I have to set this down somewhere, so I'll just keep it inside until we get it attached. All right, so now it's time to take a walk back to the back of the bus. Take a walk and see what we've got going on. I did use some penetrating oil yesterday just to get things loosened up, and so now you can kind of see where we're at here, and here's what we are replacing. I've used some penetration oil to pop open these clamps just to make them a little easier to move. So I've already done that, but that just unclamps from right here, and then it clamps down. I put some penetrating oil on these clamps, and also kind of in the edge. We're going to have to really work hard on getting this separated to drop that off, and then I think I'm going to loosen this one and separate this from this particular spot and drop it off, as opposed to trying to do it off of here. I think just seems like it'd be a little easier going that way, going down, and then here going down. This is a bracket that holds this bracket on. When it comes out, it's going to have to go down and turn just a little bit to come out, and I'll have to get underneath just to make sure everything's good there. And you can see from below what we got going on here. And there's the bottom, and that's got that little duck valve kind of thing on it. That's where it's going to have to come out, and we'll have to push this back out of the way. All right, let's start out with what I think we're going to need for tools. First and foremost, my glasses so I can see up close. I need those on. My age, that's what you end up needing more than anything. Second of all, a box of tools. I have a couple boxes like this, and then I also have two big tool boxes with all kinds of other fun stuff. But usually on the bus, what you need is tools, enough tools to do most jobs that you can get parts easily available. The tools necessary to make them work are right there. Other tools I got out of my toolbox in the house or in the garage are right here. An air impact, since I have air available to me, a couple of hooks, and then a hand wrench. This will fit the hose clamps that are on the filter. This will also fit the hose clamp. That's a 5/16, and then the bigger hose clamp will take a 7/16. Hammer, a couple of screwdrivers or pry instruments, and then I also have an air ratchet Might make it easier when things are tightened up in a corner, instead of using this impact, to use this one. Go back and we'll set up. Again, here's the hose clamps we need to get rid of, take out, loosen, whatever, and then this is a clamp we need for this one to come off. Okay, here I am. We're gonna start out taking these clamps off right here, and to do that we just buzz them off. Probably don't want them to go the whole way. Actually, that'll have to come off after the fact, but this is certainly one we need off. A lot of rust and crust in there. We're gonna have to clean that up. Okay, that one's loose, this one's loose. We probably won't need that one loose, this one here loose, until after we've gotten this off, and then we'll take it off of here. So next is this one. We've got our air conditioner drain lines here that are kind of in the way, but we'll just work around them. We'll switch over to our 7/16 and see if we can get to this. If not, we'll use the other one. And that one doesn't look like it's, yeah, there we go. And that is backing out that clamp. So we'll have plenty of room there. Might need to loosen it a little more, but still keep the bolt on it. Next thing we do is take these and at least make sure that this clamp is loose, so it's not holding anything in place. And then we have to do the rubber seals to the hose. I can already see that this one's not happy. Might need the screwdriver for that. There we go. And it had a little plate in there holding it, so we'll have to keep that. And that's right behind here, and it might actually be the whole clamp, but nope, it's just goes behind this tight tensioner right here. We don't want to lose that. Again, get these out of the way. That's loose now. We want to make sure this one's loose, so we'll do what we can to get that one loose. Even if that means we have to pop it a little bit, get underneath it, then go all the way around best we can, make sure it's loose. Gotta break it free, and there, it's moving, so we know we broke it free. Harder part's gonna be right here. Although this is, there we go. This came loose easier than I thought it would. Pretty rusty. We're gonna have to take a wire brush to that and clean that up. And now we come down here and see if we can take this one apart. My guess is this one won't come apart as easy. It's now sliding down off of this bracket as well, and it's sitting on the bottom. Let's take the screwdriver. I think you can see in there. Loosen up all the edges. Try not to poke through it, but certainly got to loosen it up. Break it free. all the way around. And let's see if we can get in there with this. Loosen it up all the way around. Pretty wobbly in there, so I think now we can get those out of the way. It's starting to move. You can lift that apparently. We can move it a little bit. And I'm going to get another tool. Hold on one second. Okay, I've got a rubber mallet now. We're going to see if we can pop this off. And by holding this part up, and there it's moving. And there it is apart. So we're good so far. Clamp still on here. This is now loose. Should be able to drop it right out of the bottom. And this shouldn't be that difficult. Might be able to do it right from here. Pull the bottom of the bus out just a little. Maybe not. Might have to turn that a little. That way we can move it this way, and it starts to come out. Toughest part of this job might be getting it out from the bus. So we'll go underneath, push this out. And there we go. Just had to loosen up the hose bit a little bit. And we now have it off. This is out. This is all off. We'll have to take this one off. This one we've already taken off. And we'll have to put them on the new one. With it out, it's not too complex. You can see this is where the top goes, this is where the bottom goes. It's a little flexible, but there is a hose in there. And that's just a flexible hose, so we don't want to stretch that out too much. All right, let's look at what we've got in the old one. It's kind of dirty, crud in there. Some rust from the pipe fill. And it looks pretty dirty even here. And our new one looks much cleaner. And we've got the little rubber that's got to go in the center down here. This one looked pretty bad. And it's pretty eaten up and getting pretty brittle. So it's a good time to change it for a lot of reasons. Okay, same thing with this. Just got to get up underneath here and go like this with a hook, and that will go around and that will loosen it up, and it should come right off. Perfect. Voila. Comes right off. This is a handy tool. And again, all you do is take this tool, go around the perimeter, loosen up the rubber, and then it should pop right off. All right, the next thing we do is we take a wire brush and get off all the crap off of here. And then we also do it on this one here. I'm not gonna bother you with watching me do that, but I'm gonna take the rust off of this one and off of this one. Now, if you've got a lot of mess inside these things, which this one did, and it had a lot of rust in it right here, I actually used a rat tail file to get all the rough stuff out, then went back with a wire brush and cleaned the rest of it out. And that was primarily because we had some rust on the inlet air hose. Cleaned this up a little bit, and I'll clean up the other one on the top, and then you have to lubricate them. Either WD-40, Dawn dish soap, whatever. I actually like the Dawn dish soap because it makes it much slipperier. Okay, the next part of the process is just clean it a little bit. I want these two rubbers nice and clean for when they go back on. Dawn soap. Wash them up a little bit. Okay, next step, you can see I've put the duct valve in there. It's in the bottom. It's way down here at the bottom. Again, there's our part number information. Back up to the top. And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put some dishwash detergent here and on the lips inside these rings here. So that'll just make them slip on easier. Then put the clamps on it next. Alright, you can see we're set there. Little Dawn dish soap. Put a little around here, and then we'll just take our fingers and rub it on here, like so. And we do the same thing with this. I don't want to do it on top. I will do it this way, and I'll just put a little in here like this. We want it to be on top and the bottom part of the flange. So we just rub it in, top and bottom part of the flange. Get this all nice and slick. Okay, now that we put a little oil on there, or dishwashing soap, and we've got the ring there, let's put the rubber ring on. We have the rubber ring here. Okay, let's start out by putting this one on, like that. Slides right on. Keep in mind, this is going to aim that way in the bus. We want that clamp on, but we want to be able to access it if we need to loosen it or tighten it. So, we tighten it where we can get to it when it's in the bus and it's pointing that way. It's actually pointing more like that, but I think we still can get to this, but I'm going to move it over a little. Move it to right about there. Make sure it's nice and tight. It's not going anywhere. The next ring will set on top. Which will go right there. And once we get it on, and we have this up on here and got it on the bus, then we can clamp this one down. We'll need that one turned somewhere in that vicinity. Okay. I put some dish soap in the ring, in the bigger rubber, and I'm going to put that down below, out of my way, where we can slide it in later. If you can see that, it's right there. And I just set it there so it's out of the way while I put the canister back up where it belongs, up in here. Taking it out was a problem because this was in the way, so we're going to try to alleviate that by just having the setup out of the way for right now. I'll try to put that on after I get it up inside the canister holder. So, I think you can see that. And we'll get underneath and try to put the new one up in there. Make sure these are open as far as they can be. We don't want them in the way. And even if I got them stuck a little in there, then they won't come out till I reach back there. All right. Underneath the bus, and I'm working towards putting the canister back up. Now it should fit on that ledge right here, the bottom of the bus. That gives me a little bit of room to get some things kind of clamped in and at least set. Ugh. Okay, so this will go in there. We're going to need the impact to tighten these up when we're ready. Now we'll see if we can push this all the way inside. I think maybe the best thing to do is try to halfway clamp this on. That up here. There's a little bit of flexibility here, so we can push this right down inside. Shouldn't have a problem. I think we have a little room to turn and twist. So let's do that and tighten this up. I think now that I know where it's at, that's good. Here we go. It's not going to fall. We're good for now. We got some room to play to do the other one. So now we're going to try this. Gotta get this underneath. Two things we got going on here. I think first we get this one on. Best we can. This one I think we can push around far enough from underneath. Turn this around. Get that on. And then just like that. All right. That's good. Now, let's make sure both are on really good. And I think this one Tighten it up a little bit anyway. Okay, I think we have this clamp down. Now we have to do the last clamp. That would be this one. Put that underneath. Back up. Clamp will go together. At this point you can sort of see what I'm doing here. This clamp is clamped tight. I got to make sure this one is somewhat tight, and then I got to slide it back. Okay. Now we need to make sure this is where we want it. And we'll look from the bottom up. And it might be easier to tighten that clamp. Might be easier to tighten this clamp right here from the bottom than from the top, because then we can make sure we're pushed in all the way. So I think that's what we're gonna do. Let's just get the clamp up where it's out of the way. Kind of finger tight it. Make sure we're in. I think we're in as far as we can go. That one goes so deep we gotta actually unhook this. There we go. That one's in tight. Let's take one more look. See how we're doing. And with the exception of getting it clamped onto here, I think we're getting close to done. So that's the next process. Push it up in here and then clamp these clamps down. This might be a taller order than I would think, just by virtue of the nature of the beast. Since I'm alone here and I need to get this up higher in this thing, I thought the best thing to do was to just stick a floor jack underneath it, and then we can get it up in the air a little bit. So I've stuck a floor jack down here, and I'm just going to crank this puppy up until I can get the top part into the grooves. So hang on. All right, we'll try this. All right, I'm gonna jack this up a little bit just so you can see, so I can raise it up, not putting a whole lot of pressure on it, just using a floor jack to get it up a little bit to fit in the grooves on top because I'm alone. We'll go back up top, see where we're at. And you can see I'm just trying to get this to raise up over this edge here so I can tighten these clamps. So I've got that much further to go yet. So we'll keep cranking a little bit. And see what I'm doing. Okay, we're at that lip. I want to go a hair higher. All right, that's about where I want to be. Everything else is tight. So let's see what it takes to get these clamps back in like that. There's like that. Tighten it down, but we might need pliers to do that. But at least we're in the height I want to be, so let's let the thing down. Floor jacks down. Clamps in. All right, let's see if we're all tight. We're tight there. We're all tight here. Now we go around and just make sure everything's good and tight. This is all tight. I'm gonna go back and hit them one more time with the impact. This is tight and the bottom's tight. Okay, so I think we're done. I have to clean up some of the mess I've made. Clean myself up. I got a little dirty doing this job. Wasn't that hard, just takes a little finagling and the right tools. It only takes a couple 3 hours when you really get after it, and that's just messing around getting things pulled out and put together. So until the next project, have a great day. Marvel Bus out.